Over the next couple of days, we're exploring Greece, starting here in Athens, wandering through the ancient ruins of Delphi, and driving up into magical Meteora, which honestly looks like something out of a fantasy movie. But we're not doing this trip the way we normally would. This is actually the start of a group coach tour across the Balkans, and Greece is only the beginning. After this, we're heading through 10 countries in just over 2 weeks. And here's the thing, over the last 3 years of travel, we've never moved this fast. We usually like to take it slow. We book everything ourselves and typically just go with the flow. Not to mention, we're also pretty introverted. So signing up for a fast-paced group tour on a bus with over 30 strangers and giving up control for 2 weeks is not exactly in our comfort zone. But we've always been curious about this style of travel. Does moving this fast ruin a place, or does it allow you to experience as much as possible with the time you have? Do strangers turn into friends or just seatmates? We honestly have no idea what to expect, but we can't wait to find out.
So we're here in Greece, and this is our first day of our 16-day, 10-country tour. We just had this incredible Greek breakfast, and I'm stuffed to the gills, but very, very excited. I am a little bit nervous because we only have 15 minutes until we go and meet the rest of our tour. And if you've been following our channel for a while now, you probably know that we're pretty introverted. It's usually just Mike and I traveling on our own. We typically slow travel, so the fact that we're just whizzing through countries, I think we're gonna be in one country for like an afternoon, which is crazy. This is just a completely different experience for us, but one I'm pretty ready for. We never have a guide with us, so a lot of our learning is, self-taught, and I think we miss out on a lot of information in the places we visit. And so while we're kind of speed dating the Balkans, I do think we're gonna gain a lot of really valuable information that we might not have otherwise. And so I'm excited, but I'm also really nervous. I hope that people like us, and I hope they don't get annoyed that we're filming. We're gonna try and be very, very respectful. So this series might be a little bit different than our normal series because we're gonna try not to, blab in front of the camera, in front of the tour guides and the tour people, because they didn't sign up for this. And so we've gotta kind of find that balance of capturing the content that we need to so that we can show you what we're experiencing, but also be respectful to the people that just, want to go on a tour and experience the Balkans. So we'll see. It'll be interesting. Wish us luck.
We got into Athens a couple days ahead of time so we could get our bearings before jumping into this wild adventure. You can check out those videos on our channel if you haven't seen them yet. After a quick meeting with our group and tour leader, it was time to hit the streets of Athens for an orientation walking tour. In each city, we head out with the whole crew and get to know the place a little better. How to get around, things to see and do, and a little bit of history as well. Our tour leader, Will, has been leading tours through the Balkans and all over the world with Expat Explorer for over 14 years, so we knew we were going to be in good hands. We wound our way through Athens, stopping at iconic locations such as Hadrian's Arch and the Temple of Zeus, where we stopped to take a group photo with our new friends. Up next, we made our way to the Greek Parliament building to witness the changing of the guard ceremony. We had a better spot when we saw this on our first full day in Athens, so make sure to check out that video if you haven't already. As we explored from place to place, we learned about everything from history and architecture to little anecdotes about the culture.
The ancient tradition is the Greek woman, if she gets upset with you, will give you one of these. That's the evil eye. So if you have this charm in your pocket, you're protected from the evil eye. I carry two because I tend to take people off.
It was really interesting to revisit places we'd seen just a day earlier, but with a newfound appreciation for what we were looking at because of the wealth of knowledge that Will had. As our walking tour was winding to a close, it's time for something Ashley and I are really excited for.
Now we're going on a food tour. And this is what I'm very excited for. Because so far, Greek food has been amazing.
This is our first optional experience of the tour. While a lot of the experiences over the next 2 weeks are included, there are a number of things to do during the trip that are extras, and we figured this was the best way to start our trip. We met Rachel, our local guide and owner of Food Around Athens, and we are about to get a proper introduction into Greek cuisine. Each dish and vendor is handpicked by Rachel and her husband to show you the best food Athens has to offer. Our first stop is for a Greek classic, spanakopita. I'm really glad we came hungry because they also brought out some cheese pie and some insanely delicious boukatsa.
We just finished our first stop on the food tour, and I'm already blown away. Everything was delicious, and Our host, Rachel, is absolutely incredible. She's born and raised in Greece, grew up in London, and now she's back here. This is really, really good, and the food is absolutely amazing.
You can't talk about Greek cuisine without talking about extra virgin olive oil. And Rachel is going to make sure we are EVOO pros by the end of this tour. I didn't have shots of olive oil on my bingo card for today, but at least we know how to suss out the cheap stuff.
And we only do it so the Greeks laugh at you. No, not it. I promise. So, are you ready? All in your mouth at the same time. Chin back. Oxygenate it 3 times. With or without sound effects. And then swallow it. Put the glasses in here and tell me what you are experiencing.
We popped by a local deli for some of the best cheese and cured meats we have ever had.
Left garter and
I was today years old when I tried cheese for the first
how
time.
is it?
No. It's just that good.
Not only did we get to try some incredible food, but we are learning so much about the history of each dish while we're at it. Apparently, this stuff used to be made from camel back in the day, but now it's made from beef and it's an acquired taste.
I think it's great.
We popped over to an artisanal honey shop to cleanse the palate and try some of the best honey we've ever tasted in our lives.
So I just learned that Greek salad doesn't have lettuce in it because lettuce is a winter vegetable and the ingredients of Greek salad are summer vegetables. And in Greece, they eat by the season. Now we know.
And then the real fun begins. More olives than our body has room for.
They are healthy for you, but I ignore them. So guys, Kalamata is famous for olives. Oh, a bear. It reduces bad cholesterol. 20 olives a day, unfortunately. Oh, wow. Because they are cured with about 8% salt.
This is apparently a non-salted North American olive and it's blasphemous.
I like it.
Well, because you are having
Green one's best.
It tastes like cow poop.
and you buy them without the pitted. Never buy olive. Now guys, take this one.
This is fun.
Our likes to party. I can tell already.
We honestly could have hung out in this market trying olives all day, but now it's time for our first shot of Rocky. It's a local spirit made from distilled grape skin and seeds, and it is strong.
You do not have to shoot raki in life, but on my tour, you do have to shoot raki. I'm going to warn you what the taste is. Let me warn you what it tastes like. Burn, 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 raki. 1, 2, 3, yes! Bravo, beautiful. That is good. And if you were cold today, just a little bit.
Oh, it's strong.
I'm gonna break these glasses.
Oh my gosh, baby.
This food tour is fantastic. We are learning so much about just food in general, not just Greek food, but definitely worth checking out.
To finish the tour, we made our way to a restaurant whose name I won't dare to try and pronounce, but we put it down in the bottom left of the screen, and there's a link in the description because you can't miss this place. But if I'm being honest, you should just go with Rachel because you'll have so much better of an appreciation for the whole experience. Trust me. They brought out a massive spread. Greek salad, calamari, bread, this pasta rice looking stuff called orzo, and more ouzo than we knew what to do with.
Is it even an expat tour if you haven't insulted everybody else? That's very interesting. I know. Oh, wow. That's what Wales got.
It's actually really good. So these are compulsory marinated sardines. So we're gonna try it with some of this bread. Look at that. Get it on here on this bread. And get some of these little chilies or peppers maybe. I don't love sardines, but we're gonna try it.
Is it good? Mm-hmm. It's salty, I imagine.
That was a big bite. It's a little bit fishy, but it's mostly olive oily and lemony and salty. It's really nice. Probably not my favorite thing on the table, but very good.
We can't thank Rachel and her husband Mike enough for showing us such a good time. If this is any indicator of what's in store over the next 2 weeks, we are in for a wild ride. The next optional for the day was to go to the Acropolis and tour the Parthenon. We originally opted not to do this because we had plans to see it on our own before we met with our tour, but if you've seen our previous video from Athens, you already know what happened there. So we just took a rest and hung out until it was time to meet back up with our group for our big welcome dinner.
We're going to dinner.
So weird. They're paper tickets, but they have RFID IC scanner in it.
We're here at the ammonia station with our tour group, and we're going to our first dinner together, which I'm very, very excited about. It's a restaurant called Athens, and so I don't know if we're going to order our own meals or if it's going to be family style, but if it's anything like the food tour today, it's going to be delicious, so we've got to wait about 6 minutes for the next metro.
A lot of the meals on this tour are included. Each day you get breakfast from the hotel, and then something like half the dinners are part of the tour. While for the other meals, you're left to explore on your own, or you can select some of the optional experiences that include dinner, like you'll see tomorrow. This meal was awesome. Some Greek salads, small plates to share, and a very delicious moussaka. The vibe of the restaurant was cozy and inviting, and the company was great. This was the perfect way to end our first day of this exciting new adventure we're on. Okay, maybe it's not over just yet.
The night is still young.
While everyone else made their way back to the hotel, a couple of new friends, Ashley and I, decided to go check out this really cool ouzo bar in Plaka. There were so many varieties of ouzo on the wall, so we all got a few different ones to sample. This is the perfect way to end the first night of our adventure.
Yamas.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Good morning. It is our last day here in Athens. We are going to go to breakfast, which is absolutely incredible, and then we are going to board a bus on our way to Delphi, and then we are heading to a place called Meteora. We've got to get our bags down there now. The elevators are like comically small, so yeah, let's get going.
This is hands down the best hotel breakfast we have ever seen.
So good. We've got some cheese pasta, some Greek yogurt, which is amazing, and then I made myself a little sandwich out of the charcuterie. Got a cappuccino, and then Mike went much healthier than I did.
I mean, I've got like cherry cordials or something. Yeah, hard-boiled egg, a couple olives, meat, cheese, and a croissant.
Croissant.
Okay, I know I'm terrible. We were scrambling after breakfast, so I didn't get any shots of us loading on the bus. But we got our seats and we met our driver.
You've learned a bit of Greek, I hope, yes? Kalimera? You have no idea what I'm talking about. That's how you say hello. Like, good morning. Kalimera.
Kalimera.
And you say Kalimera to our driver, Yanis.
Kalimera, Yanis.
Okay, I don't know what any of that means.
He said he's the best driver.
It means good morning, how are you? Well, I'm fine. Are you all fine?
Yes.
God.
And now we're off. Right as we get on the road, Will hands us all our official Expat Explorer passports. These just have some basic information on Expat Explorer and serve as a keepsake for all of the stickers we'll get throughout the trip. I may be a little bit of a nerd, but I thought this was a really cool touch, and we look forward to each sticker we got. Today, we get our first stickers for Athens. We've got a short little drive ahead of us before our first stop of the day, so it's time to just sit back, relax, and enjoy the views. We wound through some incredible scenery and tiny little fairy tale towns, and before we knew it, it was time to hop out and explore the ancient ruins of Delphi.
We are here in Delphi, which is this beautiful region with a ton of historic and mythological relevance to it. If you've ever read about the Oracle of Delphi, this is where that all happened. It's really, really beautiful. I actually don't know a lot about the history here, do you?
I basically just know that Greek leaders and politicians, before they invaded, started wars, or made big political changes, they would come consult the oracles, and that's basically all I know. We're up in the Parnassus Mountains.
I think so.
Yeah, and it is just the perfect temperature. It's not too hot, not too cold.
There's lots of shade.
Lots of shade, nice breeze.
It took us about 2.5 hours from Athens to get here on our incredible coach. It's like brand new.
Yeah, we got lucky.
Mercedes-Benz, like it's so, so fancy. We're here for
About an hour and a half.
About an hour and a half, and then we'll get back on the coach and head to Meteora.
There are two parts to this place, a museum and the ruins themselves. We would typically go to the museum first to get the context of a place like this before just exploring, but our guide suggested we visit the ruins first. I think it's because we only have a limited time and he wants to make sure we see the exciting part.
Wow, it is so cool. We're around so much old stuff right now, like, it's insane. Look at all this. Ancient things.
This is where decisions were made. Battles were decided to be fought here. City planning, basically anything. It's absolutely incredible. I'm so very happy that we're in Greece. It's really cool not just to get to know a new part of the world, but to also get to know a new part of the world with people that, I don't know, you just get so much more perspective. It's honestly something that we didn't expect about traveling with a group of people. It's really cool. So this is the stadium at Delphi. It was built in 500 AD. We all know the Greeks love sports because they created them and the Olympics. So if you didn't know that, fun fact, the Greeks created the Olympics. Olympians, Olympics, you get it. I can't imagine having to play sports on something this long. It's just honestly such a pinch me moment. When we started traveling in 2022, I never thought our travels would A, take us into 2025, and B, take us to Greece. Modern day Greece at an ancient setting, which is just absolutely incredible. If you think Delphi is beautiful,
Wait for the next place.
yeah, where we're going next is just...
We couldn't help but geek out over all of the columns and ruins. This is the kind of thing we'd only ever seen in movies or read about in books, so to be standing here where people stood thousands of years ago, it was honestly surreal. When you're in a place this beautiful, how can you not pose for a photo? And here at Expat Explorer, they have a signature move, the Expat X. Let's see how we do. Okay, let's try that again.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Now we'll have an expert show us how it's done.
I have 10 years of practice with this. You go like this.
Oh, well, that's way better.
It's time to get back on Barney the bus.
Halfway point of our day, and I ordered way too much food. I had my headphones on in the bus, so I wasn't listening, and I thought it was included. It actually cost us 50 euros, which is a little bit of a heart attack. I was not expecting that for lunch. I wouldn't have opted for the salad and dessert had I known, but it is what it is. Hopefully it's good. I got some spaghetti bolognese, a Greek salad, and then some baklava, which I haven't tried here in Greece yet. Hopefully it's tasty. Oh well.
It wasn't long before we started seeing the iconic rock formations of Meteora in the distance. This is one of the locations on this tour that we were most excited to see, and we opted for a really cool experience tonight that we can't wait to show you. But first, we've got to get some context. Before heading up to see the beautiful monasteries, we stopped at a small icon shop to learn a little bit about Greek Orthodox tradition. Greek Orthodoxy is one of the oldest branches of Christianity, dating back nearly 2,000 years. This shop makes traditional icons and has a massive collection of them that you can browse and purchase if you're interested. They're not meant to be worshipped, they're more like visual reminders of faith, almost like windows into the spiritual world. Most of them follow a really strict artistic rules that haven't changed for centuries. The gold backgrounds represent divine light, and even the way the faces are painted is intentional. It's less about realism and more symbolic. Even if you're not religious, it's hard not to appreciate how much history and tradition is wrapped up in something so small. And some of them were expensive. We decided that we couldn't leave Greece without picking up something with an evil eye on it.
I didn't get an icon, but I did get a bracelet, which is really cute, and it's got the evil eye, so it kind of does the same thing in that it wards away evil. But this is what it looks like. I like it. It was only 10 euros, and I entered a lottery, so I could potentially win another prize. I hope I win. It's so cute.
It is pretty cute. We needed to get you an evil eye.
Yeah.
I feel like, have you even come to Greece if you haven't purchased an evil eye trinket?
No. Not really.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Like a little loose like that?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's great.
All right. How many of you are in the lottery? Gita, are you in the lottery? No. You're not? Okay, good. Then you get to be like the lottery girl, like on the television. All right, so you have your tickets ready, yes? We're going to do the best prize first, and then work our way down, because then that's fair. So, all right, Gita, you ready? Yes. Okay, you draw one ticket for me. There we go. All right. Yeah, that's a winner. All right, there we go.
Yay.
Put that down for 2. Okay, here we go. Winning number 9, 4, 1, 2, 8.
That's me.
That's you. Oh, Teresa again. All right. Oh, that's it. Let's just make sure.
That's so
Yeah, all right. There you go. Okay, there you go. All right, here we go. 9, 4, 1, 4, 6. All right, send the calendar down. Keychain. Yep, it has Greek writing on it, and it says, it's all Greek to me. Okay. All right, final winning number, 9, 4. Scott, we talked about this earlier. 9, 4, 1, 1, 5.
No, you.
Okay, there we go. All right, that's hammer there. That's fine. All right.
Wow. So exciting.
All right.
Thank you.
Final prize is for 15.5 million euros.
It's Greek.
Monastery. Now, the monastery closes at 5:30. We have ample time. Lots of time. We're well asked.
As Yanis, our driver, expertly navigated the twisty roads up to the monastery, we were rewarded with some incredible views. But this was nothing compared to what we were about to see. This is St. Stephen's Monastery, one of the 6 active monasteries still standing in Meteora. It dates back to the 14th century, and unlike some of the others, you don't have to climb hundreds of steps to get here. What started as a monk's retreat is now home to a community of nuns, and even after centuries, wars, and restoration, it's still active today. Standing up here, you really understand why Meteora means suspended in the air.
This place is spectacular. We went inside the monastery itself, and you can't film inside, but I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. It was pristine. Looks like it was painted yesterday, maybe this morning. Just the architecture and everything is like nothing I've ever come across before, and it's so fun to discover new places like this. And we are going to be staying down there tonight.
On the way into town, we stopped at a couple viewpoints overlooking Meteora. And this is where it started seeming like less of a group of strangers on the same bus and more like a group of travelers on the same adventure. Everyone was scattered across the rocks, taking photos, helping each other get the shot, and making sure none of us fell.
There's no guardrails here, so you have to be really, really careful, because otherwise we'll just go whoop, right off the side.
It felt like we were actually opening up, getting to know each other just beyond the surface.
We just got checked into our hotel, and the hotel room is nice. The view is insane. We're unfortunately only here for less than 24 hours. I actually think at this point less than 12 hours. We have to be up at 6 a.m. tomorrow to go to another country, which is crazy. But yeah, let me give you a room tour really quickly. I don't know how much this costs because it was included with the tour. Let me show you this room. It's pretty nice. It's much bigger than our last hotel. But here we've got 2 beds. It seems like most people room with somebody else unless they pay extra to have their own room. Got a nightstand there, desk area, fridge, which is awesome. Got a little makeup mirror here. Hi! Got a little kettle, that's really nice. I was told in the Balkans that sometimes those are not a thing. And then we've got our wardrobe. Nothing too exciting. It does have an iron though, which is nice. Let's see what this bathroom looks like. Oh, okay. Not too shabby. It's got a big shower. Actually, a really big shower. Got your little toilet, vanity, that sort of thing. Let me go show you this view. It is absolutely insane. I say this all the time, but I can't believe where I am in the world right now. Oh no! I don't have an ND filter on. One moment. Okay, look how much better that looks. I just put the ND filter on, and it already looks so much better. Oh my gosh, look at this place. Let me show you. Look at this, oh my gosh. Can you believe this is right outside of our hotel room? so cool. I cannot believe this. There's like this gorgeous church over there. It's so, so pretty. And then, yeah, I've just got this like tiny little balcony, but it works perfect. So, little balcony here. But wow, just look at those views. That's so crazy. It's so peaceful. This town is amazing. I would love to come back here. I think the area is called Kalambaka. I think the town is called something else. Our tour guide Will told us the name, but I unfortunately don't remember what it is. I will say, as a like an independent traveler, not having to think about anything, where I am, where I'm going, what I'm eating, what I'm doing, it's kind of nice. So I think I like this way of travel. I wasn't sure I was going to, honestly, because I am such an introvert. No one ever believes me when I tell them I have social anxiety, because they're like, what, you're a YouTuber? And it's like, I think you'd be surprised how many YouTubers were introverts. I think that's why we get into this job, because it is so, you know, on your own most of the time. But yeah, despite, you know, me being an introvert and having social anxiety, this has been a really, really fun experience, and also I think a good learning experience. I think I'm growing from this. So it's so pretty. I'm gonna go enjoy the balcony for a little bit. I've only got like a half hour before our crazy dinner. I'm so excited. We're actually going into those caves tonight. So yeah, I'll see you in a second.
So we're in a town called Kalamakis. I'm really not good with these Greek words, but this place is like a fairy tale. We're surrounded by the beautiful mountains you saw earlier, and every building looks like it was created by Hans Christian Andersen, who made fairy tales. This is not at all what I expected to be experiencing in Greece. Like, I see pictures of Meteora, but mostly it's the rock formations and the monasteries themselves. But I'm so glad that this is one of our stops, because as Ashley has probably shown you and geeked out about by now, our view from the room is absolutely breathtaking. We're gonna go around, check the town out, just kind of get some shots, see the vibes, and yeah, like, look at this place. It's all like a postcard, so let's go make some postcards. She's got to get fancy.
I do gotta get fancy. We never get fancy. Okay, so we're on a different tour bus now, and we are just waiting to go to dinner. And are we going in the caves, or are we just getting told about the caves?
I don't know. I think it's called a Greek evening. There's going to be food and ouzo
And fun.
and dancing, I've heard. Whether you'll see us dancing remains to be seen, so definitely stick around to see what we get into. But that's basically it. We're going to have a Greek evening in Greece, in like one of the craziest, most beautiful places I think I've ever been.
Yeah. Do we fancy well? Wearing a sundress with my farmer's tan.
A black sundress.
A black sundress.
This is what we've been so excited for. Tonight we signed up for one of the optionals called a Greek evening. We met Kate, our guide for the evening, and on our way to the first stop, we got to know a little bit about her and the town that she calls home. We started by walking out to the hermit caves beneath Meteora. Before the massive monasteries we saw earlier, monks were actually living alone up here in these tiny caves, hauling supplies up with ropes and just disappearing from society. Kate actually had a chance to meet one of the monks when she was younger, and hearing her stories was so inspiring and added such a personal touch to the experience. We stopped at St. Nicholas of Badovas too, a small 14th century monastery literally built into the side of the rock. It's easy to miss compared to the giant ones on top of the cliffs, but it gives you a glimpse of what everything might have looked like before everything became so built up. Before heading to dinner, we took advantage of the last bit of light we had and went to a beautiful viewpoint to see some of the most stunning landscapes we have ever seen. Now that we've worked up an appetite, we headed into the countryside to a small village to have dinner at a family-run taverna. And this is where the whole vibe of the trip shifted. This place felt like a scene out of a movie. The day had faded into night, and the smell of fresh bread being baked wafted through the air, and we all sat around and reflected on the incredible day we had.
You talk, okay?
Steny Yamas.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
She said it was like 60%. There was ouzo and drinks and so much delicious food. And apparently, after enough ouzo, this happens. Really? I'll do it. On the ground? Just like... If you know anything about us, you know that we're not the dancing type. But when you're caught up in a moment like this, how do you say no? This was unlike any travel experience we have ever had. Typically, it's just us, sitting somewhere on a little plastic stool or over a hot pot, just hanging out like it has been almost every day for 18 years. But in this moment, we were surrounded by incredible people from all over the world, listening to stories and laughing, and learning that travel isn't just about the places you go and the things you see. It's about the people you meet along the way and the shared experiences. We can't wait to share with you the rest of this incredible journey over the next couple of weeks. If you're thinking of booking your own trip through the Balkans, we can't recommend the folks at Expat Explorer enough. We left a link in the description to the tour that we're on, and if you use our code Mike and Ashley, you can save 5% on your trip. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up down below, and if you want to see how this crazy adventure pans out, please consider subscribing to follow along. We'll see you in the next one.